All right, I made it back. Every day I kind of wonder if I will make it back based on the opening, and how much time I have to use. So the fact that I've spent so much time this early in the game means that it's very unlikely I'll be talking a lot just due to the time control with no increment. One thing I mentioned before the game, which I think is actually relevant because I see a lot of people kind of glossing it over, is that I think the results in so far in the tournament with so many classical games being decisive has much more to do with this time control than the scoring format. And I think a lot of people are saying the scoring format is what's providing the decisive games, but I actually would argue that the actual point is the time control. And so I think if we're looking at chess from the view of a spectator and wanting more decisive games versus draws, it's not necessarily that you have to have shorter time controls necessarily, but you need to have time controls with no increment because then blunders will happen. As we've seen in many games, Arjun Gukesh Fabiano, etc. So that I did want to point out just because I think a lot of people are getting it slightly wrong, thinking that it's the scoring system when it's actually time control that's leading to this. Now, having said that, my game is a pretty standard Slav. Arjun played this H4, which has been played before. It's not the absolute main line. I think my position is relatively fine. I spent a lot of time because I was trying to make queen c8 work, make bishop b4 work. Ultimately, I thought rook d8 was just the most solid. And my view, like a couple of my previous games, is pretty simple in that I think if I'm not in a lot of trouble in the next two or three moves, I will probably coast to a draw very easily here. Because this idea of queen c8, hitting the rook on h3 is very important in a lot of these lines. If he goes like queen c2, queen c8, knight e5, knight e5, rook h1, I just go queen e6, and I mean, white can't castle queenside, so I see no reason why I should even be worse there. So the next like 3 to 4 moves in my game will play a huge role in the determining what the outcome is going to be or what the flow of the game will be as well. But for me, I think I'm doing okay. So I feel good, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, I came back once again, primarily because Arjun is deep in the tank thinking here, which means that my position should be more than fine, or at least he's out of his preparation, which means I have a chance to talk a little bit more, because there won't be an instant move. Of course, as soon as I say, he might just make a move randomly while I'm in here. But here's what I would say. So just talking about the game in general, my game, I think I'm fine. We'll find out, obviously. Magnus and Fabiano is going to be an interesting game because Magnus is the bishop pair. Fabiano has the big white center with the pawns on d4 and e4. So objectively, these positions, I think the computer actually likes white in general, but knowing that it's Magnus and knowing that the long-term play with the two bishops is very good, I actually rather like Magnus' situation. So that probably will be a dynamic game. I don't see any way that can end quickly in a draw, for example. So there's going to be a lot of life. The other game between Wei and Gukesh also quite interesting because one thing that I talk about a lot in my streams or my videos is this factor of quote unquote luck in chess. And that doesn't mean that it's like luck where you get lucky and your opponent blunders or stuff like that. It's where sometimes the opening choices that are made are peculiar. And it seems that in this event specifically, everybody is targeting Wei Yi with the black pieces. Fabiano played a Sicilian, did not play e5, decided not to be solid. Gukesh playing a Caro-Kann. So when we talk about luck, there are certain opening choices that are different, and it's clear that at least so far, everybody's trying to go after Wei Yi when they have the black pieces. So that's an interesting little tidbit that I thought I would mention. Otherwise, I actually don't have anything more to say. Surprisingly, I spoke about my game. I think the other games from Magnus' game could be interesting. So that's going to do it for right now, and maybe I'll come back later, but who knows? Okay, so I made it back. So in my game, I've been pretty confused for the last couple of moves. Obviously, because I was down so much time and Arjun was thinking, I was calculating a lot of lines on his turn before he played King B1. But I saw this line from basically a mile away, and I thought I was completely fine, if not just up a pawn here. I mean, maybe Arjun can find a way to save the game with some great play, but I'm just up a pawn here. There should be no risk at all, so I have everything to play for. I don't know if Arjun missed knight fe4 or he just kind of cracked because of the looming time pressure that was coming in terms of blunder. I assume he blundered this knight e4 move. So we'll see, but I mean it's great, and if I play well, I think I should win the game. Unless he has some obvious tactic in the next 2 or 3 moves. I'm able to consolidate the extra pawn on the queen side. It should be a very smooth win, but Again, next 2, 3 moves, Arjun will obviously try to find some way to mess it up, and I need to be up to the task because again, time pressure, it shouldn't be an issue because we're headed towards the end game already, but you never know what happens if time gets low. So, feeling good, but long way to go.